Hello, 7th grade science students. Today we're going to talk about defining variables in a controlled scientific experiment. Let's get started. When designing a controlled scientific experiment, it is important to clearly and carefully define the variables in your experiment. There are three types of variables: independent, dependent, and controlled variables, which are also known as constants. The independent variable is the one thing that is changed in the experiment on purpose. It is the main thing you want to study in your experiment. The dependent variable is what is being measured in the experiment. It's what we hope changes in response to the independent variable. So we say it depends on the independent variable. The controlled variables are also known as constants. They are the things that are kept the same in every trial. There are many controlled variables in each experiment. Controlling variables and keeping them truly constant from one trial to the next is one of the hardest parts of designing an experiment. Even professional scientists have trouble with this. A well-written scientific question should contain the independent and dependent variables. In this question, how does the type of fertilizer affect the growth of plants? The type of fertilizer is what the scientist is changing, while the growth of plants is what's being measured. Everything else, like the type of plant or amount of water, is a controlled variable or constant. Now you try one. What are the variables in this scientific question? How does the material of the ramp affect the speed of the car? The ramp material is what you changed from one trial to the other, so it's the independent variable, while the speed of the car is what is being measured, so it's the dependent variable. Did you get them right? One way to help you remember them is to think independent means I changed. What did I, the experimenter, change? Dependent equals data collected. What data did I collect in the experiment? And controlled variables are constants. What did I keep the same for every trial? Let's try one more example to see if you've got it. In this question, how does the height of the ramp affect the speed of the car? What is the independent and dependent variable? In this experiment, the height of the ramp is the independent variable and the speed of the car is the dependent variable. The constants would be the material of the ramp or the weight of the car. Did you get it right? As you can see from the last two examples, experiments can be similar but have different variables. There should only be one independent variable. You couldn't change the height and the material of the ramp in one experiment. You would need to separate them to have valid results. Do you think you're ready to design your own experiments? Now that you know what variables are, let's get to work designing our next experiment.